Good morning. My name is Deborah Kodadek, and I'm a marketing intern for Subaru of America. As part of my marketing training, I've been tasked with reviewing Subaru and their European presence over the last years. I'm going to specifically zone in on the macro and micro environments at play, focusing quite a bit on the actors and forces. Now, let's take a look at where we are now and where Subaru was in Europe about 20-some years ago. In 1997, Subaru had a very small market share in Europe of 0.34%. In 2019, they actually lost market share in Europe with only having 0.21% of the current market share. There are some who believe that this happened because Subaru decided to focus on the US and the success that was happening in the US, leaving Europe a little bit by the wayside. The microenvironmental actors that I want to talk about today are stakeholders and customers. Stakeholders are the company itself, anything that impacts the company itself, like the board of directors, investors, employees, managers. And as I spoke a minute ago, this is coming into play and important because it looks like there might have been some decisions made to focus on the US market over the European market. With regards to customers, customers are different in Europe than they are in the US. They have different things they're looking for with their vehicles. In Europe, the roads are very narrow, and it's also difficult to find a place to store a large vehicle when they're not driving it, be it out and about in the town or even at their home. In the US, we're very used to those 2-3 car garages and plenty of street parking for our cars, regardless of how large they are. Moving ahead to the environmental forces at play in the microenvironment, I want to discuss competitors and the changes in consumer behavior. Currently, there's a very competitive market in Europe for SUVs crossovers. That wasn't the case back when Subaru first made its presence known in Europe, and I do believe they lost an opportunity to focus on that over the last 20 years while they were focusing on the US success. Subaru vehicles sold in the UK actually have lower gas consumption than they do in the US, which is pretty surprising. We might have a vehicle in the US that has 30 miles per hour for gas. They might be able to have 30 miles per gallon, but in the UK it might be 20 miles per gallon, which dampens the market enthusiasm in Europe. And there's an opening for a new competitor to pop up in Europe and really focus on that highly advanced electrical crossover or SUV market, as one currently does not exist. Now, the changes in consumer behavior relate back to the 2008 recession. It took almost 10 years for Europe to recover from the 2008 recession in the car manufacturing and car sales market. They finally recovered from the 2008 recession, and now we are hit with coronavirus pandemic across the country. And that's limited the ability to purchase a car, as well as changed consumer behaviors where they might not want to go ahead and purchase a car if they have concerns about unemployment, additional lockdowns, and things related to coronavirus. Now, moving to the macro environmental actors, we're going to look at culture and society as a whole and economics. Europe has some of the strictest carbon dioxide emission standards in the world, and that is not welcome to a company like Subaru. Europe, as mentioned, also has a long recovery from the 2008 recession. They're still finally getting past. And then labor laws are much more employee-friendly in Europe than they are in the United States, making it more difficult to shut down a factory or a plant when it's been decided that they aren't working for the company. Also in Europe, the economics. When you purchase a car, you want to get a good value for your money. In Europe, many vehicles are taxed by their weight, their size, and their gas consumption, which once again doesn't make Subaru a desirable vehicle to purchase, as it will be very expensive for the buyer. Macro environmental forces at play that we need to discuss are globalization and technology. As mentioned earlier, the coronavirus has really had an impact, and some car manufacturers that already have a very small market share in Europe might decide to exit the market completely, as they won't be able to come back from the coronavirus pandemic. Also, you have some European countries who are blocking manufacturers that have a lot of investment from China, which further makes it difficult to sell cars if you can't get in the market. Technology is an area of opportunity that I've identified for Subaru. They have a goal of having 40% of their vehicles be completely electric by the year 2030, and they've also have partnered with Toyota to create a fully electric crossover by the year of 2025. So overall, there are many factors that impact Subaru and their presence in Europe. It doesn't seem like it's a great market for them to be at with all the things that we've discussed in this presentation. And I've come to the conclusion that they may have been right to focus on their US sales all along. Thank you.